In Sonic 2020, Olive Garden takes center stage as...
No joke! Hello, my name is Brendan.
And I'm Nick. Welcome to the American Recut. Let's talk about this week's film, Sonic 2020. In Sonic 2020, the blue blur battles off against the Eggman as they fight drones, governments, and rings. There's some human characters. They kind of carry the story, kind of don't. This is a mess.
It's truly a mess. Jim Carrey can only do so much, goddammit.
Alright, well, let's get into our actual breakdown of things. I think we've got enough to work with for the synopses.
Agreed.
Alright, first things first. Characters. There's Mike Wazowski.
You heard that too, thank God.
Every time I heard that.
Oh my God. We shit you not.
Mike is,
he's named Tom Mike Wazowski, but...
Oh, come on, his name's Mike Wazowski.
It's totally Mike Wazowski.
He's kind of the essential protagonist of this movie. He's kind of your usual character where he wants to move to the big city and prove himself. Otherwise, his character kind of changes from scene to scene, so it's hard to really get a read on his deal. He's got a girlfriend. She's a veterinarian.
Convenient.
Her character kind of changes from scene to scene, so it's hard to really get a read on her character.
It does.
The arguable main character / side character is Sonic. His character kind of changes from scene to scene, so it's hard to really get a grasp on what his deal is. And there's Jim Carrey.
Of course, the man of the movie.
He's kind of just playing an amalgamation of a few different roles he's played before.
Right, I totally got a Count Olaf / Grinch kind of vibe from him.
He's kind of a garbage version of Count Olaf and kind of a lame version of the Grinch and a little bit of Liar Liar in there.
Yes. He throws in a mixture of his old zest into the movie.
God, does he try. I feel like if there's there's one thing you can say for this movie, this is not the fault of the actors. They generally give an okay performance. They do their best with what they've got.
Oh, yeah.
There's effort going on from them.
And power to them.
In terms of the effects, obviously the Sonic himself looks pretty good.
Much improved in contrast to what they originally intended.
Sonic looks pretty good. A lot of the fight choreography is kind of garbage. Like, it really doesn't look good. And I want to roll editing into this one because, well, I don't want to throw the animators under the bus because they did the best they could with this movie.
They really could.
I think
considering what they had against
them. The editor of this movie did a garbage job. This was horribly edited. This is possibly the worst edited film I have seen in the last 5 years.
I'm going to have to ask you some questions to kind of elaborate on that because I was just so distracted by the nauseating plot that I
Of course. Yeah. So there's 6 or so scenes where you'll have characters say something like, surely he couldn't have walked away from that. And then instead of like doing a cutaway to the shot behind them and showing the screen they're looking at or showing like the wreckage and seeing their hero crawl out, they just say, oh, there he is, he crawled out, and we never get to cut to that shot. And this is like basic editing. Like, this is absolute basics of basics editing. It's absolutely awful. They do a horrible job of editing in a series that has a director that's known for his action movies.
Dan Fowler.
He should know how to do these kinds of edits. These are basic edits that don't get done.
It is like you said, he should know, but I mean, considering what the whole production team went up against, considering the outrage over the original concept.
That's the animation team, though. That's not editing. That's not editing's fault. That's
fair.
Very little to do with it.
Good point. Good point.
The way this movie works, the first act, I think, was solid. I think the first act was fine, right?
Really?
Yeah, the first act is when we're getting to know the characters. We get to know Mike Wazowski and how he's a small-town sheriff, but also he wants to move on to bigger things. We get to understand our veterinarian character. We get to understand Robotnik a little bit and his deal. We get kind of his buddy cop thing with the guy that he hangs out with until he does.
Stone, yeah.
And we get a little bit about Sonic and how he's kind of living this existential, lonely life that he has to kind of constantly be on the run. The first act is kind of nice. The first act is solid enough. It's a good enough setup to where if you went to a pure action adrenaline movie, we've gotten all the stuff out of the way to get that done.
Sure.
And then with the second act, around the time of I want to say when the veterinarian's at her sister's house.
That's actually
Basically, from that point on, the movie's a garbage fire. It's absolutely awful.
Oh, yeah, no. That thing plummets fast.
Yeah, so we did our effects, we did our characters.
Story.
The story, as we said,
it's typical.
It's a dumpster fire starting from the second act.
Yeah.
It gets really bad. Even for action movie standards, it gets really bad.
Yeah.
And themes, come on, what are you expecting?
I don't know.
These are themes of like family is good.
Family's good, widely. It's essentially like a Dorothy-esque kind of thing. Like home is where the heart is. Blah blah blah.
Except not really, because he doesn't have a home.
Well,
Same as spoilers. That's the first thing that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go into the extra one. Deep lore. This movie has the weirdest bit of deep lore that it opens with, which is that he's being raised by an owl, chased by the Echidna tribe.
Was that what that was? Thank you. I kind of thought no.
In order to steal his super speed, so he has the rings, which is kind of like the I think this is the 7 Rings game, where like they're like giant portals that went from between different worlds.
Yes.
Where the rings are able to open up portals to different worlds, and that's how he got to Earth, and he's just been living there.
Is this spoiler territory?
No, this is the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, there's a weird amount of deep lore in this movie that they bring in and then immediately discard.
No, right.
And of course, the opening city is Green Hills. But
for the Sonic fans.
Yeah, so in terms of like the Sonic fan stuff, if you're coming here looking for things like Crush 40 doing this soundtrack, if you're coming here looking for any of the zones being remixed for the soundtrack, you're not going to get it. You get 2 remixes of Green Hill Zone. You get nothing by Crush 40. You get one of the most uninspired soundtracks I've heard in a movie in a long time.
Trying to think, what soundtrack?
You don't even get a single other character from the Sonic franchise.
No.
They're not even references to them, nothing.
No.
Well, except for the Echidna tribe and arguably Master Emerald and I guess a giant owl. I don't remember her.
I don't remember a giant owl either.
But that's it. That's all you get.
No Tails, no Knuckles. That's it. Just Sonic and Jim Carrey.
Yeah, so anyways, without getting into spoilers then, let's get into just our final recommendation of the movie. Brendan, do you recommend seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 2020 in theaters?
No.
Sponsored by Olive Garden.
And we'll get into that later. No, I do not recommend this. I get it, it's a movie for kids. It was aimed at a younger audience while trying to pander to the old school Sonic fans, but really, I tried to be lenient with it, and I just, no, I can't. I can't forgive this film.
Likewise, I absolutely cannot recommend this film. It has an okay start to it. I'd say the first 10, 15 minutes are okay, and then it kind of nosedives in quality. It's clear they didn't know what to do with this character or this franchise.
Yeah.
They didn't really know where they were going with this story.
Widely
and that's a
inconsistent.
shame, because I figured with a director like this, he would know to just go balls deep into the action and never stop. The script really doesn't do anyone any favors.
No.
The animation for the Hedgehog looks okay, but there's a few places we can see it's clear, like just like the test animations they wanted to reuse, or a few places where you can tell like there were some reshoots that were going on. Not great. Don't recommend it.
No, not worth the $12 to $14.
$5 for me. I see you in the morning. All right. So shall we get into spoilers then?
Yeah. Let's go on to the ramble now.
All right, onward to the Ramble-On section. There will be spoilers for the movie if you are so interested in seeing it, either as a way of seeing if it's that bad, or if you wanted to see because you're a big Sonic fan, you've got to see all of it, then come back to us later.
I'm going to ask you this before we proceed any further. So, my theater had 9 people, counting myself. There were only 2 kids.
My theater was fucking full.
What?
It was full.
Were there a bunch of kids? How many, like...
So someone stole my seat.
What the fuck? On a Friday morning?
Valentine's Day morning. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Happy Valentine's Day. And shame on you for taking your date to this movie. Okay. I just had to inquire because, there were only 2 kids and, 2 other single dudes.
Not many people laugh, though.
Oh, what a shock! Hardly anyone laughed in my
Yeah,
theater.
not many laughs.
They really, I couldn't even
comedy.
know. Even Jim Carrey scenes.
Jim Carrey got a few smirks out of me. There were some moments here and there, like especially near the end where he has that line of like, "I don't want to be insensitive, but you should get some ice on that body and keep it fresh." that one kind of got me a little bit. There was another one with where like he like licks the hair, where like Agent Stone has something he like offers it to him as like, "All right, you want to try?"
Speaking of, okay.
Like, there's some little things Jim Carrey does that work here well enough.
Oh, yeah. So, like you said, Nick, the character, there was genuine effort on the front of the cast. You know, I mean, they really did put their effort.
There is some real effort here, yeah.
But there were so many characters that were just so one note and just so transient.
I feel like Agent Stone was the best character in this because he was clearly trying to be like a partner and a good friend to friend of Robotnik, and he just wasn't fucking having it.
No, but he disappears.
He just kind of vanishes. Yeah, he just kind of stops showing up.
It's just a shame. I really like this character.
Yeah. So one of the big things I'd say is that this movie definitely has a few scenes that are like clearly reshoots or things where they realize like, oh, this is a plot hole. We gotta get these characters there somehow. And that it just happens sometimes with this movie.
No, and that's the thing. The characters did put a lot of effort, but the story just did not. I was absolutely nauseated by it. It
does not know what it wants to do.
No, the origin story, I was like, I felt it was really rushed.
Super rushed.
Super rushed. And I get it. Kids movie, 90 minutes. Get it.
Well, I mean, there's like a part where like Sonic suddenly decides, wait a minute, you're a jerk. You're abandoning everyone. What's going on? And it's like, Sonic, isn't your whole thing running away from your problem?
Right, aren't you a little nomad that literally ran from his problems?
It's also thing where he kind of does a sudden like 180 on his character where he goes from like, I want to go out and have adventures and have fun and I want to punch people in the face to like, you're leaving behind your family. It's all about family, Dom.
Like, dude, I mean, you can't be supportive of your newfound friend that actually gave a shit about you.
I was expecting a lot more pop culture references than we got.
Speaking of references, so...
Oh my god, this movie is such a fucking sellout.
Oh my god.
It's such a sellout. There are so many obvious paid advertisements. This is...
Oh yeah.
Like, if you're someone who's ever wants to point to sponsorships in movies as ruining cinema, this is the movie.
Shameless.
It is so shameless. Like they repeat this Olive Garden joke 3 times. The first time the joke is just, that's the catchphrase of Olive Garden. The second time is, it's an Olive Garden coupon. They have breadsticks. Like, oh god, such a shameless joke.
Pasta bowl. Hey, that sounds real good.
They end the movie on an Olive Garden joke. That's like the last joke of the movie.
I died inside from that.
I basically cringed into my seat when I was like, what?
Oof.
Why did the U.S. General guy give him an Olive Garden?
Also, fuck you. You keep quiet about, your scientist going rogue and you get compensated with a fucking Olive Garden certificate.
I didn't even know.
$50.
I didn't even know what the joke was there. That the government's incompetent or that they're just cheap.
I think I'm going to go with incompetent because their first go-to dude was Robotnik.
I think the joke was, we're sponsored by Olive Garden. And they're making us put this in. But there's these jokes all over the movie where they'll just kind of rattle off a brand name and then immediately give it a...
I hate it.
And then immediately say the catchphase.
I hate it.
These aren't even jokes. These are just...
No.
Shameless. Shameless is this movie's name.
Speaking of reference, do you think they were really hinting at a Mario verse, like the Funk Mushroom Planet? I felt like they were kind of shooting like, oh, Mushroom Kingdom.
No. Nintendo never does anything good with their properties. No.
Fair. They do. They have that shit a lot. That's right. Sonic is what? Sega.
That's Sega. Yes.
Okay.
And
thanks.
I was. This is just a personal gripe, but I had this thing where I was, looking at the different games during the opening logo for Sega. I was like, oh, I know that one, I know that one. Hey, that's just great. Hey, why isn't there a Jet Train Radio movie? It works perfectly. Mio Shibuya, let's go.
Okay. But plot-wise, it's just a...
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's not even worth talking about what the plot is. It's a very basic plot that somehow gets screwed up. Like, the entire plot is just go to San Francisco, get to a building, grab the rings. That's it.
Essentially, yeah. The magical rings that
And I guess Sonic's got lightning stuff now, which I guess was being hinted at with him being like into the Flash books.
Doesn't he have lightning abilities or like?
No.
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 He's not the
just fast.
Flash.
He's just sort of a fast guy.
He's a fast boy.
He's a fast boy.
Okay.
But yeah. So Sonic has lightning powers. That's kind of the escalation over the movie and like the lesson he learns, which is
Don't be such a show-off.
Don't be run away, yo.
Don't run from your problems, and don't be reckless with your powers.
Except maybe do run from your problems because it got your mother killed, but you forgot about her. Because that was clearly the reshoot. Yeah, there's not much going on with this movie. It's pretty harebrained. They take on a really basic like family as those you care about thing, which doesn't fit at all.
I enjoyed Detective Pikachu more than I enjoyed.
Agreed. It was a better film. It was a much better film than this.
Again, I don't have a much positive thing to say about this movie. It was just...
The animators did okay.
The animators definitely improved the original concept of the character.
Oh, by a long shot. The actors were decent. They just had really poor editing behind them.
Yeah.
Like, really poor editing.
Bad writing, too.
You can tell there's a few places where Jim Carrey was, like, improving lines they kept in, which some of them work. A lot of them are just kind of...
I did get that vibe in some areas. It's like with the Colonel or what have you.
Yeah, so final summary, I guess, and then get into our non-recommendation, because it's clear we're not going to recommend this.
Oh, yeah, clearly, yeah.
Right.
I can't imagine who would.
This is going to start. This movie fails as an action movie. This movie fails as a comedy. This movie fails on a technical level with its editing. It's just a failure in every way. It's a poor send-off for Sonic. I mean, granted, it's what we more of us should have expected. So, no. Just don't watch this movie. It's not worth your time or brain cells.
No, this movie is not good. I despise the plot. The animation was alright, but editing was shoddy. I'll agree with Nick there. And the actors really did put some effort. Commendable. But beyond that, it's a dumpster fire that just goes downhill.
Yeah. It's sad.
It's sad. I can't imagine who would recommend this.
Possibly the most corporate... I know who would recommend this.
Who?
Olive Garden with their limitless breadsticks on sale now. They probably have a special Sonic menu because they paid out the ass for sponsorships in this movie.
God, no joke. Because like you said, they were popped in like 3 times, so... Anyway.
I guess there was one other joke I didn't mention that worked okay, which was the dentist thing. Tom, whose dentist calls him Tim. My dentist calls me Rob.
I didn't quite get that. That was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I didn't really laugh at that one.
It was improv. I liked it. I didn't laugh at it, but I liked it. It was like, okay, that's kind of fun. The bonding over the dentist calling him the wrong thing. That's what I'm reduced to, is looking for fucking B-tier jokes to grin, be like, okay, I understand what the joke is.
You're going to be alone that
This is so sad.
You're going to be alone in that turf. I'm not helping you there. Jim Carrey can only do so much.